Speaking of Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin met with the media yesterday. He was required to, and the media asked some pretty good questions there, and Lane Kiffin wasn't falling for it.
Lane, Keith released a statement on Friday that's saying that you, him, and Chancellor Boyce had a meeting about your future. Are you able to elaborate on the nature of that meeting at all?
Yeah, like I said at the beginning, very fair question, but we're not answering anything that doesn't have to do with the game and the team and the season. But fair question.
You mentioned on Pat McAfee how you don't make decisions based on money. When you do make your decisions, what are the considerations for you then, especially when it comes to football decisions, right? Like, what are you thinking about?
Yeah, very fair question, but I'm not going into it because, like I said at the beginning, I'm going to keep this to this team. And
He says expects a decision on Saturday. Is that a decision that's been made, or is that still in consideration? Like, people are just curious about that.
Yeah, so, I mean, you can just keep going. I'm not going to answer them, so that's 3 of them. You got another one?
Media's just doing their job, Lane. All right? You did your job not answering. They did their job by asking. I thought the one question about, hey, you said it's not about money, so what is it going to be about? But he wasn't biting on any of that. But, yeah, asking good questions, asking an open-ended question, and still didn't get him to go. Yes, Todd.
Hey, Coach, I actually have a 4th question. LSU, Florida, which way are we leaning right now? None of us believe you're staying here.
Yes, Eaton.
I feel like Lane was pretty fair there. I feel like that was a win-win in terms of press conferences. I think the reporters, the press asked good questions, and I thought that he, for the most part, was pretty I'm not going to talk about this,
Both sides know that he's not going to talk about it, but it's kind of nice to see him squirm a little bit.
I would actually say, too, because he was just like, look, if it's not about, the team, the game this weekend, or the season, I'm not going to ask about it. I would argue that his future coaching right now is very relevant to this season and this game coming up and all of it.
Yes, but also his relevancy to Ole Miss. Is he going to be their coach if they go to the playoffs, if he decides to take the job at Florida or LSU? That's what I'm curious about. Could they make this announcement? Could this announcement be leaked before the Friday game? And imagine going on the field if he's not staying, but he's going to be coaching that game against Mississippi State. And that's a real possibility. I mean, it could break Thursday. It could break Friday morning before the game. That, is he going to stay? Because it feels like I'm just going to be, the logic attached to this is, if he was staying, he would say he was staying. Unless he's waiting for them to sweeten the pot. Because the reports are, Ole Miss is going to match the salary that LSU is offering, which could be $13, $14 million a year. Now, you may want to know, what else is LSU giving you? Are they going to give you a Lincoln Riley deal where you get to use the corporate jet whenever you want to? Maybe. Now, you can get around this by saying, this is what my family wants to do, or I made this in the best interest of my family. Hard to argue if you throw that out there. Now, do I believe that? No, I don't. Because I go back to the documentary that I watched, and it was on Lane Kiffin, and Lane Kiffin kind of finding out who Lane Kiffin is. And that it felt like he had happiness there. He found something. Or maybe it found him. But Lane Kiffin is a guy who chases. There are certain coaches they chase, but they don't know what they're chasing. Because even if you go to LSU and you win a national title, he won't stop chasing. It's just something that is, innate in part of his DNA. You chase. You're chasing. You're constantly chasing. And like, he's been kicked to the curb. He comes back, and then he's chasing. And then okay, maybe you go to Florida Atlantic, and then you come back. I mean, Nick Saban saved his career. When Saban brought him in as his offensive coordinator, he saved him. He saved Sark as well. And look, I don't begrudge him for getting the best deal possible, making as much money as he wants. But you have to understand, with those decisions come ramifications. There are going to be opinions. It'd be a terrible, now, maybe he doesn't care, a terrible hit to his credentials if he does take this job elsewhere. Because he's flirted with this, and we did social media and a little post here, and maybe somebody leaked it. Maybe your agent leaked that your family was in LSU, and then they were in Florida. And, okay, that's where I have a problem with this, because it felt like you were kind of toying with the people from Oxford, Mississippi. That's the problem I have with this. You want to take another job? Take another job, okay? Like, your credibility is going to take a hit if you decide to go. And maybe you don't care. His credibility has taken a hit. His confidence has probably taken a hit many, many times. You get fired on the tarmac, embarrassed by the Raiders, kicked to the curb, you go to Florida Atlantic. But he is a really good coach. I just think I don't know if he knows who he is. And I'm only doing this from the outside looking in at that documentary they did. Because I'm kind of finding out, who the hell am I? And it felt like, as I'm watching that, good for him. I remember coming in and I go, man, maybe Kiffin's figured this out. He found maybe who he is, what he needed, narcissistic. Okay. But I just think your credibility takes a hit, given how this is playing out right now. I'm hoping he stays at Ole Miss. I like the story. And this is the greatest season they've ever had. And yeah, maybe you're going to get more talent at LSU or Florida. More money. Okay. And maybe it's not more money, because the reports are that Ole Miss will match that money. So what exactly is this? Sometimes you're chasing. Got to keep chasing. Somebody wants me. Hey, I got to go. Hey, the moth to the light. I'm going. Why not? This is what I do. Hey, I'm at Tennessee. No, I'm going to USC. Hey. I don't know if he's figured himself out. If he decides to leave, given what's happened with the leading up to this. And then you're going to take these questions. You're going to take the heat. Okay? You can end it all by saying, I'm staying at Ole Miss. Then it goes away. And imagine the reaction he gets when he takes the field on Friday afternoon. Do I think he's going? Yeah. The more I look at it, the more I hear, the more I read. Yeah, I do. But I hope he stays at Ole Miss, because it's been a great story. Yes, Todd.
I was going to ask you just that. I know the game's in Starkville, but if it did leak out and there were substantiated reports before the kickoff Friday that he's leaving, like, what would that reaction be? Will there be some support for him? They still want to finish strong, or they're all anti-Kiffin as far as the average Ole Miss fan? Just get out of here. You don't want to be here anymore. We don't need you.
What do you think?
I think more, but not everyone, but more than would be, the majority would leave. Why don't you just leave now if you don't want to be here anymore? But I don't think it would be 100% screw this guy.
Yeah, but you need him to have a better chance in the playoffs. Like, he's a necessary. You don't want him because he doesn't want you, but you do need him in the moment. Yeah, Marvin.
Now, do you think Ole Miss fans will feel better if they won the national title and he left? Like, you know what? He gave us a national title. He's free to go. Almost like maybe not the same thing as Jim Harbaugh, but you're not as upset because he left you with the national title for a team that's never won a national title.
I can't speak for those people. I guess I would be fine. I mean, that's a nice consolation prize. We won the national title and we lost our coach. But once again, you're trying to figure out somebody and their personality here. As a coach, I don't worry. But once again, when you watch that documentary, you can't come away going, you have a different opinion about Lane. You really do. And his family's all there, and his ex-wife is there, kids in school. I mean, it just felt like, all right, you got it. You finally got it. But it feels like he's still chasing. Yeah, Paulie.
I wonder if Lane and his agent don't tell whoever he's staying with or going to until after the game, so there can be no leaks. You get the win, you wake up on Saturday morning, and that's when you tell the person you're going with, the team you're going with.
Do you think that he has not made up his mind?
No, I think he has absolutely made up his mind based off the offers given to him. More about not his contract, but the money that we spent on the roster. But I think he and his agent, to protect themselves on Friday, don't tell the suitor that they made this.
They won't keep it a secret. They won't keep it a secret. Somebody knows. There's somebody, at least somebody, who knows what he's going to do at LSU and Florida. Has to be. They may not know at Ole Miss, but there is somebody or somebodies who know. And it doesn't take long before somebody says, hey, okay, you can't say anything till after the game. Okay. Yeah. Yes,
Yeah, I kind of feel like right now they're in that stage of the negotiations where it's like, so do I get the private jet in my family all year, or is it just specific? What's my suite like? Is it a double or is it just the one? Is it, are you selling T-shirts with my name on it, and what's my cut of that? I think he's going through like drilling down that deep into the fine, dotting the I's part.